Welcome to Jamaica Live. I'm your host, Atoya. Today we're with Jessica Hudson, who has so many titles I can't even remember them. But on paper, she's a literacy specialist, ESL teacher, a language facilitator, and debate trainer and organizer. Currently, she is the special projects manager for the Jamaican Association of Debating and Empowerment, JADE Limited. Now, Jessica, how are you today?
I'm good. I know it's all a mouthful, but yes, I'm good.
Awesome. So, Jessica is another passionate Jamaican who's here assisting with the Great Shape program. So, we're going to speak to her about that volunteering that she's doing here and also about the many projects that she's done. So, tell us about Great Shape. How did you get into Great Shape?
All right, so Great Shape came into my life by just coincidence, honestly. And the moment I found out who they were and what they do, I decided that I was going to be a part of it. I did Super Kids last year, which is a literacy project that they do in schools, and I loved it. I did two weeks last year, and this year I say I have to do that, and I'm bringing on board my mother this year too, who is she did special education for 30 plus years. So this bug of teaching and giving back to Jamaica is something that I'm crazy about. And so when I found out what Great Shape is, what they do, what they're about, I just had to be a part of it.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. Now, what's your role here at Great Shape?
So here at Great Shape, for Teach the Teachers, that's happening here at Westmoreland at Godfrey Stewart High School. I am one of the facilitators for the literacy teachers, for the language arts teachers for grades 4 to 6. And those are for the upper grades, because those are the grades I usually interact with more than anything else, from about upper primary school to high school to university. Those are the grades I usually have interactions with. So I'm just here for this week teaching different strategies, different activities that the Jamaican teachers can use in their classroom, and just make it more real and practical for them. And honestly, I love it. I love seeing the wheels turn in the teachers' heads, the different activities that they can do, and I'm just looking forward to the next generation of students who got the best teachers.
All right, so I know you're very passionate about literacy, you're very passionate about our country. Kani, let's talk about literacy in Jamaica for a bit. What do you think our challenges are as it relates to literacy?
Well, first, I just think we need more bodies. And it was on Super Kids that I realized the challenge that we have with just not having enough bodies in the classroom. When you have a teacher having a classroom of 35 to 40 students, it's very hard to create lessons and activities that suit all 40 students. I mean, if you can have one additional body, not even necessarily a trained teacher, but somebody who is able to work alongside students that are struggling or a student that is behind, I really do believe that will make a difference in how far we can go. So that is one of the major things I think we are lacking. Not necessarily that we don't have the manpower, not necessarily that we don't have the personnel, it's just that it's just not in the education budget right now. But I don't think, even though it is a problem, even though it is difficult, I don't think it's impossible. And that is why I take as much time as I possibly can to find different ways of giving back. So whether it be myself volunteering, finding different projects and activities that students can be involved with, and not only relying on just the one teacher that has to teach so many subjects for so many hours for so many students. And so, yeah, it's doable.
Yeah, totally. No, Jessica, you volunteer in Great Shape. You also traveled to several countries. You said that you've been to China, you've been to Japan and other countries. What was that like? And tell us the countries that you've been to.
I mean, she says several countries. There are so many more countries that I have not been to. But I've been to China. I lived there for a year and a half. And I was an ESL teacher. So I was teaching English as a second language. And I went to Japan and I went to Nepal to do debating in schools. And so those experiences, and I realized I always end up on the Asian side, the Asian side of the world. But those experiences have been amazing when I see how it is that especially learners of English as a second language, how much they embrace the language, how much they embrace the Western culture, it makes me really even more excited about giving back to my country, giving back to my to the students that I encounter, because others want it. And I know our students want it too. So I just love giving back. Honestly, it might sound cliche, but I really do.
All right, awesome. Now you're just in your 20s and you've done a lot. Let's talk about a bit about your time in China. You spent 1.5 years there. What was it like being a Jamaican in China?
Being a Jamaican in China was interesting. So in the more popular cities where the population is large, it's not so odd. It's not so odd for me to be. It's not so hard for me to be walking down the street. It's like, oh, that's another person. But then in cities that are not as big, and big is very relative. It's big in there because everywhere is big over there. For the first few weeks, it was hard because was walking down the street, people would stare because I'm black, so they would just stare. And then when I speak, I remember going through American immigration and they asked, what were you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm going to China. And they're like, to do what? And I like to speak English. And I'm like, he was like, really? That'd be interesting hearing a Chinese student with the Jamaican accent. And I was like, okay, not necessarily. So, I mean, I encountered a bit of just not interacting with, I guess, Jamaicans and black people, but it wasn't so much as a difficulty or a challenge as it was just an experience. So whenever people ask me, how was your time in China? My answer is always, it was an experience. It wasn't a bad experience. It was just an experience.
And you guys say I come back home?
Oh God, I'm always glad I come back home. Always.
Big up everyone in China. Anyways. So tell me, a lot of people are not aware about the national debate team, that we even have a debate team in Jamaica.
Debate team, so it's a debate association. We are the Jamaican Association for Debating and Empowerment, and that's a long name. So when you think about us, just think about JADE Limited. And what we are is we are a non-profit organization in the island, and what we do is we focus on using debating as the vehicle to get to self-confidence, get to public speaking, having persons being more comfortable with speaking out and speaking up, sharing their views and opinions on different situations, both current affairs, educational topics, whatever it is. And so we have engagements with both students from the primary school, high school, and universities, as well as working Jamaicans. And anybody who's interested in debating, anybody who's interested in public speaking, should definitely just go to our website, www.myjade.org, and definitely have a look at what we have lined up, because trust me, whatever area you are in Jamaica, we have a program, a project for you, and if whatever we don't have, we can create.
All right, I'll sign up. Yes. So speaking to Jessica, I've known her for a while, and she said that she'll not leave yard. She's just one Jamaican, very young, attractive, can't fly where she want. But she decides she should just not leave. Why is that?
I mean, you could not pay me enough to leave Jamaica for an extended period past probably 2 years. Like, I'll get all the experiences, but I'll always come back home and use them here. I have friends, colleagues, persons I know who they've flown away, and I'm so happy and excited for them, and I'm so proud of them, because having the ability to go to a different country and do amazing things. But then I also get scared when I see so many Jamaicans leave, because we are having exceptional talent just leaving, and then there's nobody left here to build us up. So I don't want to be a part of the population that leaves us. I really want to be a part of the population that stays and does enough so that the generation coming up can really realize that even if they go away, and they should go away, I encourage everybody to travel. I encourage everybody to go to a different country to work. I encourage everybody to go to different countries to explore different cultures. But for me, it's always come back home and build what we have here.
I totally agree. We are both very passionate about Jamaica being young people, and that we do have a say in all this. We can make the most of yard. We don't have to leave. We can travel. definitely.
Take plane like taxi.
But come back a yard and build it up, alright? And get piece of Jamaica just for yourself. Because no matter what go on, this is home and this is where we will continue to have our generations after us, live on. So Jessica, you have a little property. Oh, we'll talk on that a bit. But she do a lot. You're not a jack of many trades.
Too much. So it's not, it's a small family property business that we do as well, which is Holiday Hideaway, and that's located just right outside of Ocho Rios. So Ocho Rios is one of the major tourism cities, but it's also a gem. It's right on the coast, and sometimes you don't want to be too much in the city. You want to kind of be hidden away. So if you're a local looking for somewhere to stay for Ocho weekend, definitely visit us. And if you are Jamaican abroad and you want to come back down and have somewhere to stay, another Ochi weekend, another Ochi week, come and visit us. And of course, if you are a foreigner who just loves the Jamaican culture, come and visit us. So everybody must just come.
Yeah, fill up our place, support the thing, support another young, passionate Jamaican who's not just talking but doing great things in our country. Now, Jessica, where can people find you on social media?
Okay, so on social media, I am Jessica Hudson on Facebook, on Instagram and Twitter. I am at JHudzi, and that's JHUDZI. And if you don't want to follow me personally, that's fine. You can always follow the Jamaican Association for Debating and Empowerment, JADE Limited. Currently, that's my full-time job. I'm a special projects manager for them. And for me, I just want to have a Jamaica where students and persons feel comfortable to speak out and speak up, and so I encourage everybody to be a part of that. If you want to donate, if you want to give back, if you want to contribute your time, definitely reach out to us. And if you don't want to have anything to do with debating but still want to do something to do with education or something to do with building Jamaica, Great Shape is definitely also a great page to follow, so just follow me everywhere.
Okay, thank you. Any final words before you have to go?
I would want to say that my final words would definitely be my personal goal is just imagine a generation that has been exposed to so many international opportunities that choose to not leave but choose to stay in Jamaica, what that would look like, and just an entire generation of students that have the choice to do and be anything that they want to be, and they choose to be here in Jamaica.
Thank you. No, you might hear in the background or not that they're singing There's Nothing That You Can Do, which is the perfect background music to what Jessica is saying. We can do anything as Jamaicans in our country, and we don't have to migrate. Alright, so thank you so much, Jessica, for that wonderful interview and message that resonates with so much of us. And thank you for taking the time to speak to Jamaica Live.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you for having me.
So I've been your host, Latoya, saying see you next time. Do remember to like, subscribe, and follow for more. Take care.